Hello. Since I've been doing my videos of my paintings, this big long list has developed, and I'm really pleased that finally this subject matter has come to the top, and that is the painting of vegetables and allotments. It's something I've always done and always really enjoyed. Every time I see an allotment, I want to get in there with the sketchbook, do a bit of drawing, do a bit of sketching, and doing some sort of reference photography. Also in this video, I'll be featuring me painting this painting on the fly. So there we are then, me painting allotments and vegetables. As far as today's featured painting is concerned, I'm painting here, which is the allotment in my home village of Pilton in Somerset. And as far as the subject matter goes, here we are. Now, the more keen allotmenteers among you would just be able to spot what this is. And yes, it's a composting toilet. In fact, I'd say it's the finest and most beautiful composting toilet in all England. And you open the door and there it is. You have all the mod cons. So today's featured picture, a composting toilet. And so while I'm cracking on with that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about these rather wonderful spaces and why I'm so compelled to paint them over and over again. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll feature a few of my past allotment artworks. So, okay, here is an allotment. Now, an allotment is a sort of community garden where each person is allotted a certain amount of space and given a number whereby they can grow their own fruits, vegetables and some flowers for non-commercial purposes. So essentially that means growing food for you and your family. This tradition of allotmenting is very ancient here and goes right back to Anglo-Saxon times. Now, jumping ahead to the present, it could be argued that our communities don't live on our streets anymore, they live on our phones, and so an allotment like this, especially in a very big city, could be that vital link to human contact that many of us need. And amongst them all, there are some wonderful characters. And of course, you know with me, when I spot a character, they end up in a sketchbook. And when I spot another character, they end up in there too. And then two together can make a scene, which can make a story, and that ends up in another sketchbook, which finally turns into a painting, which hopefully ends up in an exhibition, and I get paid for it. Can you think of a better job to do in the world? Now back to this particular allotment. This is in Portsmouth on the south coast, and it's a very congested city, though not here of course, and this one has the added advantage of being right by the sea, and it was this sort of view that inspired this painting. It features a group of allotmenteers carrying their bounty to the Allotment Show in the hope of winning a prize. I don't know whether they did win a prize, but I did rather well out of it, because it featured here at the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition in London. So from the Royal Academy, we're back here again to the compost loo. Oh, how the mighty fall. And this reminds me, I've actually painted the allotment here in Pilton as well. And of course with me, it all starts with the drawing, and I wanted to get some really close-up flowers and then stretch it through the hills beyond to the very far trees to get a bit of scale. And then in the final painting, here we are, and I did the painting very large, so here you can see lots of that lovely fussy detail I so enjoy. Yes, Pilton's a lovely place for an allotment, and I confess it's the only place I've ever lived where I actually had an allotment myself, and I was really looking forward to it. But when it came down to it, I made an absolute hash of it all. I'd look away for 2 seconds and then my crops would be replaced by weeds. In fact, the only thing I ever successfully grew were carrots, and even them I'm half convinced they were actually planted there by the person who was there previously. So now I just stick to painting them. And of course in a painting you can grow what you like, where you like, and as abundantly as you like, though I do prefer the cabbages to have a few holes in them. So in conclusion, not only are allotments fantastic places for growing good healthy food, they're great for community, meeting people, they're great for mental health and brilliant for physical exercise, especially for the older resident. And so, from a personal perspective, so long as these places still exist, I will keep painting them. Anyway, where were we with that composting loo painting? And here I am, just winding down now. And as a quick reminder of the scene that we had, there we are, there it is. And now a quick look at the final painting. Yes, I'm rather pleased with it actually. Those fluttery flags were a little bit tricky, but I got there in the end. Well, there we are then, my video on allotments and vegetables, and I hope you enjoyed my work as much as I did painting it. And if there's anything similar you'd like for yourself, then just get in contact with me. And that includes, of course, composting loos. So I think that's all from me for now. Many thanks for watching.